Jajamaru, the Great World Adventure on the Nintendo Switch. This is a port of a Game Boy Color game. Americans will remember this game being released on the original Game Boy as Maru's Mission. So let me establish a couple of things here. I am playing this as part of a cartridge called Ninja Jajamaru The Great Yokai Battle Plus Hell Deluxe Edition. The cartridge includes a brand new Ninja Jajamaru game. And it also includes a bonus collection as part of the cartridge that includes a whole bunch of old school Ninja Jajamaru games that were from earlier in the franchise. This first game right here, this establishes the basics. This was a game that came out in 1985 in Japan only on the Famicom, on the NES. Excuse me, the Famicom. It was never brought over to the United States, but it sold 1 million copies apparently in 1985. Although I'm not gonna slam it too hard. I mean, this plays not much worse than on your average NES game from 1985. Your Ice Climbers, your Donkey Kong Country 3s, games like that, these black box NES games that we're familiar with here in the States, they were kind of janky, but this game isn't nearly as refined as that. It's from the same developer as Bases Loaded, and here in the United States, the developer behind Bases Loaded is known as a ghost developer. They were a company that was never credited, yet they were commissioned to produce dozens, if not hundreds, of NES and Game Boy games over their run. I believe they might still be doing video games now, I don't know. But Tosei is the developer I'm talking about. There isn't much to this game, but it's worth noting that each of the Famicom Jajamaru games have nothing to do with each other. The sequel is a Super Mario Brothers like platformer, which I've also played on this channel. It's terrible, but you can see it has a bit of how do I say this? Well, it has a good soundtrack, I guess. There isn't much to it. It's ugly, but it has a tiny bit of charm, I guess. There's also Ninja Jajamaru's Big Adventure. That's the sequel, the Super Mario Brothers-like game. Operation Milky Way is a game that was supposed to be brought over to the United States as Smashed. It's a Mario Brothers 3 clone, in a way. It's kind of a Mario Brothers 3-ish video game. Review copies were sent out to American video game reviewers, but it was never actually published in America, apparently, which freaked me out because I read reviews of this video game. I'll be playing that game later. But I guess we're not really going in chronological order, but both of these Game Boy games included here are basically the same game. The game I'm going to be playing is the color version, the DX version of the Game Boy game. I should mention that this video game was called Maru's Mission in the United States. It costs like $40 complete in box, and it's also terrible. And we'll be explaining why as soon as I start playing this video game. We'll be playing the Game Boy Color version first, but the way we're going to do it is we're going to play the Game Boy Color version, then we'll just go back to the Game Boy version. You can kind of see how it plays in the Game Boy original. We're not going to spend much time with this game. I'm going to give this game at least 20 minutes. It's apparently easy and terrible at the same time. Extremely janky. I want you to hear the music, but while the music is good, the gameplay is not going to be very sophisticated, so I won't make you sit through too much of this. And then we'll tease the rest of the games a bit later. like I said, good music. Here's the thing. You have nearly infinite jumping height. I mean, look at this dude. If you hold down the button, it's like a triple jump. Completely leaves the screen. And then he has a really quick falling distance, though. You can throw the shurikens in 4 directions. That's good. Up, down, left, and right. That's it. Which is good because you have all this air control. And, of course, you can throw multiple... You can spam the shuriken button quite a bit. So you have a way more firepower than in any of the other Jajamaru games I've played so far. Including the third one. Like I said, I'll be playing the third Jajamaru game a bit later. And as I mentioned before, this is the Game Boy Color version of a game that was localized here in the United States called Maru's Mission with the god-awful Cyclops alien character art. By the way, all the enemies I was killing, they drop souls as little apparitions. If you collect the apparitions, they get added to your life bar, which you'll see at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. So you can kind of just farm enemies for like 5 minutes to increase your life bar if you want. We might do that a bit later. But again, this is the definitive Jajamaru experience. Like WoW did. You can't throw these shurikens very far, but you can throw them in a lot of directions, and I guess that's what counts. We got them. No flashing lights for this game. I want to see the original Game Boy game with some pretty nasty epilepsy. Triggering flashes, so fair warning. When we get to that, I'll have to put an epilepsy warning on this video, because when I start playing the Game Boy game, yeah, there will be some pretty nasty flashes of light. So fair warning. Remember, a lot of old NES games had those. Although I thought Nintendo got rid of those flashes. Like, I want to say Capcom, they got rid of the flashing lights in the Mega Man remakes they did. Or at least in Mega Man, when they did the Mega Man Legacy Collection. In Mega Man X, I want to say they got rid of the flashing lights. But remember, this was a whole thing. Back in, 1999? Or was it 1998? Yeah, 1998, I want to say. I remember they had flashing lights in the anime for Pokemon, and a bunch of kids got seizures. So, Nintendo made a big deal about getting rid of flashing lights in most of their video games if they could help it. So I got a weapon, I can press the select button if I want to use it, but I don't even know what the select button does. I have to press the minus sign for that. And remember, you can jump on the ceiling now, like in Metal Storm. So you hold down the jump button, and you can stick to the ceiling. But you can't control, like, you can't, like, double tap the jump button, like in Metal Storm. Which made switching from the ceiling to the floor very easy. This is not that kind of game. Although part of me wonders, I want to say obviously Metal Storm was not the first game to do that. But there was a video game, select. I think I can only use that select button to attack against the bosses. What was that video game? Got him. So I'm just trying to tap on the jump button because it's kind of hard for me to avoid falling off the ceiling. If I hold the jump button down just for a little bit, I fall off the ceiling. So here's an example. See, I'm on the ceiling now. But if I hold it down for too long, I fall to the floor. That's not what I want. So it's kind of hard to... In Metal Storm, it's easy to stay on the ceiling. But in this game, it's a lot harder. Like in Metal Storm, you'll stay on the ceiling until you double tap the jump button to leave the ceiling. Like, you can hold down the jump button in Metal Storm and you'll jump upside down. But then the gravity will take you back to the ceiling. But in this game, it's a lot harder. It's very hard to stay on the ceiling in this game. That's unfortunate. Because this game could have been something. If they went full Metal Storm with this game, it would have been amazing. Because Metal Storm is an amazing game. Hard as crap, though. But I played that game way back in the day, and I had a ball with that thing. That and Rocket Knight Adventures are two emulated games that I played that I kind of want to play the original games, but it's never going to happen. Metal Storm is a ridiculously expensive game now. Like, it's not going to happen. And I want to say there are a couple of other video games that have the whole, floor-to-ceiling gravity switching trick. None come immediately to mind, though. But once you commit to it, like, and if you think about it, IREM was a company that made R-Type. So you kind of have to imagine that R-Type is the company you want making a game about a mechanic like that, a gimmicky mechanic like that. Because you think they could really, like, do some really creative level design with it, and they did. And there was some wild parallax scrolling in that game, too. It's kind of psychedelic. In terms of, do yourself a favor. Watch a playthrough of Metal Storm. Heck, Total Biscuit did a video where he interviewed a guy playing Metal Storm. It's a really good game. You're going to have to play it emulated. I can't think of a legal way to find it for less than $100. So good luck with that, kids. Is it available on, like, digital platforms? I pressed the select button. I don't know if that made a difference. I got plenty of health. Yeah, I pressed the select button to switch to my special weapon. So I think I need this special weapon to beat the boss. But again, this game doesn't come with a manual or anything. So I found this out by reading the Jeremy Parrish review. Well, I can't stick to the ceiling now. Yeah, I can't stick to the ceiling now. Yeah, I can't stick to the ceiling now. That sucks. I can throw this a little bit upward. This has a weird spiral path to it. Got him. So I just mashed it. Good thing I had plenty of life left. I was able to mash on the attack button. I do like that stretchy screen effect. It's kind of like what Sunsoft did with the Batman games, where they would flip the screen. I think it's a raster effect. You just kind of flip the screen. But I don't know why. I don't think that many NES games did that. Now that I think about it, I think Castlevania 3 had a screen shaking effect that was kind of weird. Probably a similar trick. Am I playing Sequest now? You can move in all 4 directions using the D-pad. What was that? Why did I just shoot up to the surface like that? Okay, where am I going? Okay, let me check on something. This is driving me nuts. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. I can use the D-pad to go in all 4 directions and shoot in all 4 directions. But I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. And there's no music here either. Just this really annoying bubble sound effect. As if I needed to hear that. I guess they didn't want it to be really darn it. I guess they didn't want it to be really silent. So they decided to add that annoying bubble sound effect, as if that's a good idea. Okay, I got 3 spears in this thing. Boy, mascot games really sucked back in the day, didn't they? Got him. One more. These controls are not very tight. How do I get the crap out of here? Maybe he's the last guy. Got him. Wow, that sucked a lot. That was a terrible stage. Wow, what was that all about? That! What? Is that me getting impaled on the spike? Whoa! It better be a continue. No, continue! down one floor? I fall down one pit and the game's completely over? Are you kidding me? What the heck was that? This doesn't look like Dracula's stage. We get the bomb. I do like the sound effects. Okay, I can't get this. Can't jump from the ceiling. Okay, what's this invisible wall? What are we doing here? What's going on? Was that an invisible wall or something? I don't know what was going. It was like an invisible platform I was jumping on there. Weird. Is there a special attack I'm supposed to use here? Got him. Wow, what an awful game. Holy crap, dude. Well, I get a stake to kill Dracula, I guess. So I can only defeat him with this weapon, so I probably have to press the select button to use it. What did any of that have to do with Dracula, by the way? Fighting in a desert? What? There we go. Okay. There's your Starman power-up, I guess. Still a better game than Castlevania Adventure, am I right? You want to know where she is? Select. Hit him with the stake. Press select. I'm stuck here inside the... I can't shoot downward anymore. So if he gets stuck underneath the if he gets stuck underneath the platform, I can't attack him. If he gets stuck in the bottom of the screen like that. Go away! Leave me alone! See, he just goes down to the bottom. He just gets stuck on the bottom of the screen. I can't reach him because he's stuck behind the dirt. I can't reach him down there. And remember, I can't shoot downward. There, we got him. Jeez. What a terrible level. What an awful game. Don't jump from the ceiling here. Second, barely even touch the ceiling there. We can climb on the ceiling for some reason in this stage. I mean, there was a whole section where I could barely even skip because then I would fall off the ceiling if I tapped the button a little bit. Whoop! Didn't do that. Spawned me right in front of the pit. Sure. You having some problems, son? Whoops. You having some problems? Looks like you're going to the ceiling now. See, I can't. Ow, that hurt. Take the L, right? Yep, take the L. I'm probably never going to play this game. What am I Let me try a couple of things. This is going to drive me nuts. This stupid freaking game. I'm probably gonna die here. That's right. Thank you. God, this game is terrible. And imagine, remember, you have one life, so imagine if you just died to this boss. I had to go through this entire game all over again. Wow. God. People spent what? 50 yen for this game. 300 yen, right? 3,000 yen? I forget. I forget what the exchange rate was in 1991. It was pretty bad. The yen apparently stuff that happened to the yen in 1991. This game came out after the bubble burst in Japan, as I recall. Okay, how about this? How about I never play this game ever again? I never play this game again. Okay, so we'll take the L at the end of this level and then peek at the Game Boy version. Sometimes walk on the ceiling. You can sometimes walk on the ceiling, but not always. It's weird. Again, for some reason, sometimes you can jump on the ceiling for a little bit, and sometimes you can't. See, I can't jump on the ceiling here. Again, what sense does that make? I don't know. Uh-oh. Barely even a video game. Relax, there we go. Yeah. Bizarre. So I guess I need to press the select button to use that special attack, huh? Satan took Sakura. Satan, Satan. Right. I don't know, man. This game's pretty bad. Like, it's really bad. I need to stop playing this crap. I need to play a good Jajamaru again. What just happened? What is this? What did I just get? What the heck just happened? This is my weapon now. Not complaining, but what the heck just happened? I love these. These sound effects were in that Space Time Police game I played on 16. Yeah. I lost my power now. I don't know what that was about. But I lost my... So why did I just lose my super duper blue magic clone ninja beam that I had a second ago? Why did I even get it? And why did I lose it? What a weird video game this is. I agree with the question marks. I have no idea what's going on either. have a... What is this, Mist? ISIS. Oh! Hope you know your Egyptian mythology, kids. Otherwise, you're stuck on this level. That's... I don't know who Amon-Ra. I know Ra was the god... Well, okay, we're not going to talk about that. It's ISIS. I told you this was nominally an educational channel. Old video games and Egyptian mythology. Thank you. Still a better game than Desert Falcon, am I right? NASCAR game. What did I pick up? There you go. So I guess it's one of those. So I guess it's one of those power-ups I got. But these sound effects sound like the power-ups you get in a Densetsu Sapphire. You know, that shoot-'em-up game with the Space-Time Police that I played back on the TurboGrafx 16. Yeah, that Densetsu Sapphire game. I remember that. These sound effects sound like the power-up sound effects you collect in that game. Again, so I guess the audio is slightly better than you might expect in this game. But everything else just kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm giving it... Well, I'll tell you what. I do like the fact that you can spam the attack button. I like the fact that you can sometimes shoot in every direction. Not every time, but most of the time. But the entire thing just feels completely half-baked. Like, this entire game is just totally like... It feels like a prototype. It's sad, really. Like, it's like, okay, they knew what the design documents were probably scribbled on the back of a napkin. That's how rough this game looks. Yeah, we need a game next month. What? Yeah, whatever. And we'll add some, you know, gravity flipping to it. Because it's in the design doc, I guess. I don't know. At least it's not about pushing boxes, am I right? What's this, Mega Man? The Yellow Devil. Red Devil. Was this Mega Man? Had to fight the Yellow Devil? Or the Red Devil? Brazil, yeah. So it's a globe-trotting adventure for reasons. I mean, Brazil. We're underwater again, aren't we? I'm stuck. Okay, now we're moving. What a terrible game this is. Just really terrible. But you can spam the attack button, so I guess that works out. Sequest was way better. I think we can admit that. Got him. Okay, enough of this game. I need to stop playing. Like, at some point, like, I somehow managed to play this game for half an hour. I mean, this is just terrible. And for some reason, the the forks, the pitchforks shoot at a downward angle. Okay, but when I shoot straight up, they're perfectly fine. What an odd thing this is. Like I said, this feels like a student project. Where were they? Why did I surface like that? I have no idea. Yeah, this is a Surface project. This is a student project that was released at full price as a mascot game. I mean, it's more ambitious than Jajamaru was. I think we can admit that, the original Jajamaru game. So Maru's, that's where they got... Oh, now I get it now. Maru's Mission. Now I know why they came up with that name. I guess it's just easier to pronounce than Jajamaru. Jajamaru. This is anti-fun at this point. There we go. Got him. And the lettering barely fits in the border. Very refined product they made here. And we're back here again. Whoop! That's bad. Flying seahorses in the desert, why not? Wow! Took off 200 points of health. Everything about this game is just a freaking mess. Like, the controls seem okay, but again, it feels like the jumping controls were added after the fact. Like, oh, we want to be able to jump as high as the screen because you need to be able to invert the gravity so you can walk on the ceiling. But not every level has a ceiling, and the levels that do have a ceiling barely last like maybe 10 or 11 screens. Like, it barely seems to matter with their ceilings you can walk on in this game. So bizarre. I was about to take the L on that level because I'm losing interest very quickly in this game. Like, I kind of just want to take the L just so I can claim that I gave it a shot. Like I said, you saw what happened when I died. You have no continues in this game at all, and there are no extra lives. Wow. What a freaking disaster this game is. I mean, it's got a jump button. And now we're back here again. I'm just taking the L here. And I'm done. Mercifully. Holy crap. Wow. music's good. The rest of the game is terrible. D plus. Maybe I would give it. Okay, I would give it a lower grade. But I like the fact that you can walk on the ceiling, not for very long. I like the fact that you can spam the attack button and kind of shoot in 4 directions most of the time. So that part of the game works. But everything else just feels like a prototype of a game that's never going to be finished. It's like they're like, yeah, this thing's hopeless. Let's just crap it out and take that Jajamaru money. That nostalgic ninja Jajamaru money, unfortunately. Now, let's say for some reason you wanted to see who started this mess. You could play the original Game Boy game and say, hey, I wonder if the original Game Boy game is better because it has the blurry spinach green screen. It doesn't. I'll play this for like 5 minutes to kind of establish how the original Game Boy game turned out. You've been warned. Dig it. I do like that theme song. It's a student project, I swear. Epilepsy warning, just so you know. There was no slowdown in the Game Boy Color version, so I guess there's something there. The definitive version of Maru's mission. Why do you get these special weapons if you only use them during boss fights? And I mean, why? Did they not want to have you use your regular weapons during a boss fight? I don't know what's going on with this game. We're going to cancel it as soon as we get to the swimming level. I'm calling it. So that was Maru's mission on the Game Boy being played on Nintendo Switch as part of the Ninja Jajamaru Great Yokai Battle Plus Hell Deluxe Edition cartridge. It's terrible. It costs $40. If you want to get in on this hot Maru mission action, you can spend $40 for a complete in-box version of the game with the manual and the terrible box art. Just an awful game. So, that's been the Ninja Jajamaru. How do I describe it? This is the Ninja Jajamaru Great World Adventure portion of the playlist. Again, if you're wondering what started this mess, just go to the source. Ninja Jajamaru-kun. On the Famicom, came out in 1985, like I said. Sold 1 million copies. So Jaleco took that Ninja Jajamaru money and made at least a dozen video games for the NES, including 4 bases loaded video games. Apparently the first one was the first one was terrible. In Japan, like, it was so poorly made, there were bugs all over the place, that it was considered basically garbage. They were like, it's like how do I describe it? It's like Anthem. It's not even like Anthem. It's like Battlefield 1, I guess. Like, think of a video game like a 10-year-old version of Madden. There's like 1 million copies, coasters, in every video game store in America. And Japan probably is doing the same thing with the Famicom version of Bases Loaded. There's that whole meme where I think on Instagram some kid was bathing in a bathtub full of Bases Loaded cartridges because they're worth basically paper. They're barely even worth the plastic they're in. Like, the chips inside the games aren't worth anything, apparently. It's just trash. Now, I have played Bases Loaded for 100 or so hours. I have a playlist of Bases Loaded on the original NES hardware on this channel. And it's a much better game than this, obviously. But so far, what would I give the Ninja Jajamaru games? So far, based on what I played, I kind of have to account for the time it came out. Ninja Jajamaru does not hold up. It's a C- game. I'll be generous and give it a C. It came out in 1985. It's not great. In 1985, it would have been filler. In 1985, I would rather play, I don't know, Joust, or River Raid, or Asteroids, or Sequest than this. And those were 2600 games. Now, if you had an NES, what were you playing in 1985? The original Mario Brothers, I guess. Super Mario Brothers, I think, was coming out later in the year. So you weren't missing anything. If you were playing Ninja, if you didn't have an NES, you weren't really missing out on anything here in 1985. The sequel is terrible. I give it a C-, but I do like how you can spam the action. I do like how you can spam the action. You don't just have one. In the original Ninja Jajamaru game, you have one shuriken. and you have very limited jump control. So the game doesn't really hold up very well. The sequel is a little bit better. You have 2 shurikens instead of just one. But it feels kind of random and it feels sloppy. But it feels like it's closer to a finished game than the first game was. The first game just feels like a black box NES game that just kind of was let out of the pen. Because why even bother refining it? It controls better than Ice Climber, I'll say that. But it's kind of bad. Let's see. This game gets a D+. So I guess it's the worst of the three, even though it has better controls than the other two. It has better controls than the other two Ninja Jajamaru games. But I'll be playing Milky Way a bit later. That requires a separate video on its own because it got, again, it was about to get re-released here in America. So I kind of want to give it a little bit more love. I'll give it a bit more attention. Super Ninja Kid doesn't look very promising, but it looks more refined than any of the other games included in this collection. Although Operation Milky Way, which again would have been called Squashed here in the United States, had it finally gotten released, looks like a halfway decent, platformer. But it came out in 1991, so at this point, if you couldn't make a competent platformer on the NES, what were you even doing? What do they got going on here? Ninja Jajamaru. Oh yeah, can we see the box art? We can't see the box art. So this is the illustration for the original Game Boy game. How do I say this? Again, I wish they had included the Maru's Mission box art, because you might recognize it if you're an old school retro game collector. It's basically a Cyclops monster, kinda. I guess it's like a flying eyeball, I guess you could call it. I don't even know what it is, but it's definitely not him. Which, again, I just think is weird because this game came out in the United States in the height of critical mass. It came out after the Ninja Turtles blew up. So why would you not put a ninja on the cover of your video game in 1991 in the United States? It's just weird. And there's no frog in this game, I guess, because the consoles weren't powerful enough. There's just one illustration for you. So they kind of cheaped down the illustration. Okay, I mean, they aren't trying to do like a big like curation thing. But the publishers here at Inin Games, I-N-I-N, I want to say they released the physical disc version of Ninja Saviors, which I currently own on the PlayStation 4. That was a remake of the Ninja Warriors game on the Super NES, which is better than you think it is. It's not great, but it's better than you think it is. It's better than any of the games I played so far in the retro collection here. But the real game you really need to play, I would argue, let me go back a bit. The real game you need to play is this one. And we'll be playing a bit more of this later, because this is the game that's going to get more... I'll probably be playing this game for another couple of hours. This is a real video game. It's just a retro-styled video game that came out, It came out in 2023, I guess? Well, this cartridge came out in 2023. I don't know when this game came out. But this game right here is surprisingly good. So we'll be playing more of this later, because this is the reason you buy this game, I would argue. Although I wouldn't spend $50 for just this game, I don't think. We'll see how well it holds up. But it's got good content. So we'll end the video with some retro music, too. Are there any achievements I can do right now? Let me while I'm here. While I finish up this video. I did that. Beat yokais in this order. Seemed not interested. I'm not interested in that. Use the... Collect 3 cherry blossom petals. Kill a falling enemy in the air. Complete a scene with low health points. Okay. Kill a falling enemy in the air 5 times. Get a big heart while at full health. Jump and destroy 20 blocks in any scene. Okay. Jump on the same yokai many times. Don't take my savings. We'll see how it goes. So let's see if we can make this work. You probably won't be able to hear the music, though, so I guess I'll just shut up. So I'll let the music play us out. Are there even 20 blocks in this area? Y'all deserve some good gameplay at the end of that terrible gaming session. Hey, we give every game a fair shot on this channel. So this was a little treat for y'all if you managed to sit through all that crap. Okay, this game footage was recorded with audio from my Skullcandy earbud headphones into the audio splitter into the J5 Create USB-C capture device, plugged into a quad-core Windows 10 laptop with the Windows 10 camera app recording the footage. So I'd say we did all right. And I guess we'll let the music play us out.
じゃんじゃん行こうぜまるまるな冒険今のダッディもあの日の少年流行りのスタイルでシャレ込んでるよりさらに上のコーデでじゃれ込んで1985から2019まで走った丸19まだまだトムスタップ今を超えるぞ飛ばした手裏剣ジャストコネクション真っ赤に燃えるパッションが新たに染める忍者スーツが体にフィットすりゃ舞い散る花びら共に咲く桜重なり合う時代も変わりゃスタイル